So now let's see a short video about veterinary studies at Lithuanian University of Health Sciences. Let's watch what we have here. Ausra, I can see you on the screen. Could you please introduce yourself? My colleague Ausra is also here today.
Yes, hello everybody. So I'm here today to take your questions. So I'll be a person in a chat box today. So please be active and post your questions in the chat box.
Thank you, Ausra. For sure, our participants will have much more questions after our first presentation of Martinas Jankauskas. Martinai, the stage is yours. Welcome.
Thank you for introduction. You saw the beautiful video of veterinary medicine studies, and everything was filmed exactly in Veterinary Academy, nothing else. And we are very glad that we have so beautiful and very interactive studies at that moment from veterinary, exactly of the veterinary medicine, because in Veterinary Academy there is much more what you can study, but now I want to introduce and want to talk about exactly veterinary medicine. So we have a campus of the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine in that huge, I can say huge for us, but it's like a small city, and everything is based on exactly one that small city. So small animal clinic, large animal clinic, all the buildings where you can study, in the laboratories, in the even the sports center, and then everything is in one place. Near we have also the buildings where the students can live, and it's near the city center of the Kaunas, so everything is very well organized. Our study program of veterinary medicine started at 1936, and it's also in the, I can't remember exactly the date, but we are accredited by the European Association of Veterinary Education. So it's very comfortable for the foreigners, for the other country students, because they can study veterinary medicine but work almost in all world. And we have studies with integrated model, because you don't have a bachelor stop, because you have 6-year studies, and after that you will get a degree of the master of the veterinary medicine, and after that, with this you're getting also qualification of veterinary doctor, and you after that can work with the animals and other more specializations. In total, there are 6 years of studies, and probably the information maybe not so informative, 360 credits, but it's for nowadays probably not saying anymore, nothing. But what professional skills you will get because when you see the video, you can see that everything based and everything is around the animals in the clinic. But I have to disappoint you, because from the first course you do not get the blade of the scalpel, and you can't do the surgeries exactly at the first year. Firstly, you have to study more fundamentals, more basic things about veterinary, about the animals, about the physiology, and so on. And after that, step by step, you will growing, and one day you will become a doctor, become a surgeon, or internal disease doctor. So it's very wide, and then very important to get that basic information. But during that 6 years, about 1 year, if we taking from that 6 years, you will get really and then real practice. So you can touch the real patients, you can touch the simulators, you can touch and do quite specific things by yourself. So it's very not just a theoretical studies, because we can't imagine what's happening right now, because we have to organize the studies with Zoom like now, and it's unbelievable, because you have to touch, you have to feel, and then the veterinary medicine is totally practical studies. Also, you're gaining, because you saw the video from the small animal clinic, because I'm the person who's working in small animal clinic, but you're gaining a lot of practical skills, not just from the small animal clinic, how you see now in the pictures. Also, you will get the large animal clinics practical skills. Also, from we have a huge simulation center where you have moulages, and you can do a lot of procedures and that procedures variations on the moulage animals. Also, we have food science, which is integrated in the veterinary medicine, because we have to understand the things, all the stuff with anatomy, microbiology, biochemistry, and a lot. So after that, after the studies, also we have a student scientific activities, students organizations, Erasmus program, with which you can travel all the world and change between the universities and try studies in other country, which thing is very comfortable to understand how the things working abroad. So I use it during my my studies, during my residency, and now during my PhD studies. Also, in the university, they are organizing a lot of festivals, food games and festivals, and so on. What is traditional in Lithuania, and what is adopted, and then what students bring to us to Lithuania. We're trying to also to do that, to try that, and then to change between the countries, that traditions. And after everything, what you can do, and what is career opportunities after the veterinary medicine, because I said before that it's very wide where you can work after the studies, because in Lithuania we're working in animal health control, food safety control, feed control, and veterinary pharmacy companies, and for example like me in veterinary clinic, but not exactly just in a small animal clinic. You can choose where you want and where your heart is, and you can choose the large animal, small animal, or even in the research work or something like that. What is the advantages? That salary of per year of the veterinarian is quite high. Of course, it's highest in the USA. In Lithuania, you see we're not getting that top 10, but we're trying, and then probably one day we will be quite high also. But yeah, the salaries are quite good. Why veterinary medicine exactly at Lithuanian Health Science University? So it's everything in one place. Program is accredited, so you can work everywhere. We have quite high education and a lot of good specialists and prestigious profession. So here we have our new administrator in the reception. You can see from the picture. Yeah, I'm joking, it's a dog, but yeah, we have work exactly like that, and funny moments and a lot of patience, and most probably sweetest things are small babies. They are come to the life after C-section, and then you can see here in the photo they grow very fastly, and they come back to show how they're growing. And my advice is to do and love what you have to do, and when you are happy in your place, you are not working, you are not studying, you just enjoying your life. So probably we will meet each other in the veterinary academy. Thank you.
Thank you, Martinas. If everything goes smoothly, we will meet you in September, and our new students will have a possibility to greet you in Veterinary Academy in September, when we will start our studies. I hope that you really managed to get some useful information and tips about Veterinary Academy, also about veterinary studies here. And now let's move on with a short video of animals science, mostly related to the farm and production animals within the scope of agribusiness. Dear Lina, the stage is yours.
Just one moment, I will try to share the screen. Okay, so I will represent the Faculty of Animal Sciences, and our campus is the same buildings as you saw in the previous slides, which Martinas Jankauskas had represented. So I will try quickly to represent two master programs of our faculty, which we can suggest for foreign students. We are not providing any bachelor studies for foreign students, just the master studies. So first of all, I will try to represent you the master in animal and human interaction, and later we'll finish with the second program, animal sciences. So master in animal and human interaction is a program for those who love animals and want to help people. Although people have lived alongside animals for thousands of years, research in the field of animal and human interaction are relatively new. The need for specialist assistance in therapy has been growing every year. Such disorders as autism, attention deficit, and hyperactivity affect thousands of children in the world. The animals that are properly prepared to assist in human therapy can be used to improve health of such patients. Canine therapists and equine therapists can work closely with physicians, psychologists, or specialist educators to prepare animals according to the appropriate methodologies. If you were eager to work with the oldest human friends and helpers, dogs and horses, and you have a bachelor in animal science or related sciences, choose the studies of the second cycle in animal and human interaction. The study program is identified to prepare qualified animal and human interaction specialists who would be able to apply the most up-to-date information and research results for creative work with therapy-assisted and recreational animals, to select advanced breeding methods, to ensure responsible animal care and nutrition, and to develop human-animal communication skills. Animal and human interaction master degree program duration is 1.5 years, and in total 90 credits, and the degree would be Master in Agricultural Science. The aim of this program offers an opportunity to apply modern knowledge, methods, and technologies in animal and human interaction practice. Goals of this program is to educate students to take responsibility for shaping human-animal relationship in science and society, both scientifically and ethically. The structure of the program and the key components of the program comprise teaching and practice knowledge application from the following major disciplines. During the first year, it will be the subjects like methodology of scientific research, management of animal genetic resources and genomic selection, special nutrition of animals, small business management and organizational psychology, use of assisting animals in society, some elective practice, and a beginning of your research work. The second year would be just the final thesis. And career opportunities of this program is centers of habit therapy and canine therapy, animal shelters, services using animals at work, as an example, the State Border Guard service, consulting companies of kennels, training schools, animal welfare-related institutions, animal-assisted activities, established on or continue with family business. As an example, can be horse breeding, dog breeders association, and etc., or consulting services, public services in regional municipalities. And of course, continue in PhD studies as a researcher. Why to study animal and human interaction at our university? So Lithuanian University of Health and Sciences is the only one university in the country which prepares highly qualified animal and human interaction specialists, practice in well-developed agricultural companies using advanced technologies. As you can see, it's Kika Group, Mars Incorporated, the Lithuanian Sea Museum and Dolphinarium, and the Lithuanian Zoological Gardens. Established partnerships with relevant organizations also offer research projects to students within the making the most of master frameworks. Learn about the importance of both human and animal behavior in shaping human-animal interaction and the associated ethical issues, as well as learning to critically evaluate methods for measuring attitudes, interactions, and their outcomes. So possibilities to study abroad also existing with the Erasmus exchange program. About this program also Martinas was talking about. We have a lot of universities with which our faculty is working, and a student can choose to which country to go and to have some Erasmus course. And also advanced lecturers from business and academic partners as guest teachers are accepted to teach in our program, and also support system for student adaptation, mentoring, tutoring, and psychological counseling. And interested in modern scientific achievements, for those students, we can suggest to continue a scientific career in PhD students. studies and to join human-animal interaction research group and widen the horizon student exchange. Faculty of Animal Science has partnerships with 15 EU-based faculties in the area of animal science, including those universities like University of Athens, University of Leida, EEC University, and STMLUKLU. And some fees about applying to our university, application fee, and as you can see in the slides, and maybe the only one and most important thing that it is that no exam during the entrance. It's just a diploma of bachelor and a motivated interview. So that's it was about first animal and human interaction master degree program. Now I would like to represent for you the second master degree program of our faculty. It's the animal science. So the aim of this program offers an opportunity to apply modern knowledge, methods, and technologies in animal husbandry practice, empowers graduates to carry out independent analysis of problems associated with farm animals and evaluate its results. Program duration is a little bit longer. It's 2 years, master in agricultural sciences, and in total 120 credits. And during the first year, you can learn the subjects like welfare of farm animals, methodology of scientific research, animal biotechnology, agribusiness, some elective and research work. During the second year, production of organic products of animal origin and risk factors, ecotrophology, research work, some elective and practice, and of course, the final thesis. Career opportunities of animal science master degree programs. So it's like companies related to animal production, breeding system, forage production and feed quality assessment, primary processing of milk and meat, or own business livestock farm. Alternative and non-traditional agriculture business, as an example, can be deers, ostrich, alpaca, snail breeding, and consulting companies, public services in regional municipalities, insurance companies, institutions providing agricultural services, including training of farmers, and of course, continuing PhD studied as a researcher. Why to study at animal sciences? So this field is important traditionally in Lithuania, and the Faculty of Animal Sciences is the only one that prepares highly qualified university education for animal science specialists in Lithuania and practice in well-developed agricultural companies using advanced technologies and possibility to study abroad according to the Erasmus exchange program. Possibility to join various research projects via our university student society, science society. Advanced lecturers from business and academic partners are invited as guest teachers also in this program, and support system for students adaptation also we can suggest for this program. Residence permit extended for 6 months after the graduation to look for a job in Lithuania of any EU country, and program is accredited for 6 years by the State Quality Surveillance Agency, and also some fees for applying for this program. They're the same as the previous program, and of course no exam, just a bachelor diploma and motivated interview are needed for this program, and some contacts for those who are interested. Thank you.
Thank you, Lina, for your informative presentation. We really enjoyed. And now let's watch a short movie about human and animal interaction, the program which offers competencies in human-animal relationship to be further used for work with animals, used for companionship purposes or therapy.
Mes turėjom specializaciją - žirgininkystė, kinologija, felinologija į egzotinius gyvūnus. Tai reiškia, mes mokomės būtent apie tus gyvūnus. Ir kiekvienam mėgstančiam gyvūnų įsivylintam siūlau stoti čia.
And now let's have a presentation by Ugnė Nedzinskaitė. Dear Ugnė, she will represent the topic about animal-assisted activities.
Okay, hello, and just a moment. So my name is Ugnė, and I'm working with animal-assisted interventions, education, recreation, and therapy. Many persons know what veterinarians do, but nobody knows how it looks animal-assisted recreation usually. So I would like to talk about it. So who is your best colleague? You can see mine. And his name is Dodis, and we are working.
Dear Ugnė, I'm sorry, I would like to interrupt you. Have you shared your screen with us?
Yes.
Can you see it? I'm sorry,
yeah.
but we cannot see your screen.
Okay.
Can you do it once again?
Yes, okay, I'll try. Share screen. And...
Or my colleague Kęstutis, can you help us to share Ugnė's presentation?
Okay. It's okay.
Now, yes, we are able to see your screen. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. So yes. So it's about Dodis. He is the best therapy dog I ever had, and he is teacher in our university too. We are working together. So here is example of our theory classes. Yeah. Taip. Šuo sveria 5 kilogramus ir labai gerai tinka padirbėti su svoriu. Nulipk. Šuo gali padėti liemens ištvermei. Nulipk. Nulipk. Ne? Šuo gali padėti daryti tempimą vaikams. Vingis. Šuo gali mokyti saugaus elgesio. Tai yra seks. Kaip tinkamai paduoti labas, kaip tinkamai paduoti skanėstą, pasimtama. Apie tai, kad šuns negalima kelti. Ir rodyti ganėtinai didelę amplitudę pirkų, kuriuos šunį išmokyti yra labai paprasta. Apa. 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 Tačiau vaikams, kurie turi judesio problemų, tokie triukai yra pakankamai svarbus. Pleš. Šliaužk. Šliaužk. Čia jam sunku paviršius šliaužiu. Tarnas. Tarnas. Squat. Squat. Jump. Na ir daugybė visokių. Dodis dirba ir su įranga, ir be įrangos. So it looks very easy, but here is another short video with the students in practice. So it's not so easy. Then you need to it yourself.
Kiek raumenų dirba?
Šiaip labiausiai kojas jaučiu.
Labiausiai kos. O dabar ištiesiam nugarą, suglaudžiam antis. Labai gerai. Ir pabandom tą patį iš šitos padėties. Visai išsitiesus. Labai gerai. Super. Kas. Čiagi.
Sukis dar vieną kartą. Sukis. Dabar jis tikrai neperšta.
Dabar tikrai.
Okay. Though this is not the only non-human teacher in our classes, because we are working with different animals, including horses, donkeys, chickens, even bees, or even fishes, because we need to know how to work with every species of animal. And if you are talking about recreation, we can see many words like for pleasure, enjoying yourself, relaxation, play, refreshment. So it seems very easy, and it really is. But if we are talking about animal-assisted education or animal-assisted therapy, it's much harder. Animal-assisted therapy is really a hard thing, and we need to have many practice. So I would like to introduce you in our practice sessions. All the photos are real, and it looks like having leisure or having some kind of free time. But actually the trick is that if you are learning something new, some practical skills, your brain needs many repetitions, hundreds of repetitions. But if you are learning through play, so your brain needs only few repetitions to get new skills. So we are using that practice to learn new things, and we are having many practice in our classes. Because we need, in order to work with animals, we need to understand them. We need to know how to communicate with them, and communication is maybe most important thing in animal-assisted interventions. So if you are trying to work with therapy dog, everything is easy, as you saw in the video, but usually we have practice with some shelter dogs who are fearful and is very tricky to work with them, but you have very good skills after communicating with such kind of dog. We need some kind of knowledge in order to work with animals in animal-assisted interventions. So it's basic of animal behavior, care and nutrition, animal disease prevention and control, aspects of animal-assisted activities, depending on the species, basic of training, and the basic of human rehabilitation, because animal-assisted therapy is about human rehabilitation, and you must know many things about different diseases, different health problems, and how to help people in need with them. And what we are doing in practical classes, so we are doing tricks not only with dogs, because if you want to work with animal correctly, you must know not only principles of training, but a principle of every species as well. So all the photos are from real sessions, from real classes or real sessions with real patients, and you can see how it looks to work in that field. We have many classes about socialization, because if you work with animals who assist in interventions, they need to be socialized correctly. And for example, you can see here a horse giving high five, or another horse giving massage in the summer camp for the kids. We can see that animals are social, and we are working to make them social too. What another kind of activities that we usually do? It's reading, storytelling skills, arts. You can here are photos from very simple pictures because it's from the real session, but sometimes it's much more complex, and you can use not only painting or collage, but you can use photography, singing, dancing, drama, sculpture, and other kinds of arts. And we are practicing everything in our classes. We are learning how to create equipment for fine motor skills that is used for in ergotherapy, but there are many more equipment we can create. And because if you are working in an animal assisted therapy field, you must always have plan B, because sometimes situations with patients is very, very tricky. We pay much attention about program creating, because it's not important what you are doing, animal assisted recreation or animal assisted therapy or education, sure. You must have a program. You must know how to create a program. Here is the photos with my show with Dodis, and here you can see the guy who is working in task route, and the girl with the dog had created that task route for him. And after that, we are discussing weak and strong sides of every program. Yes, and here you see guy who is very sportive, and I asked him to integrate a dog in his daily program to make it harder. So you can see.
Nu ką?
So you can see he managed to do this with the dog, and it's very important to have good skills of improvisation in that job, if in animal assisted interventions. We are doing some sensory workshops because we have many patients with sensory problems, for example, kids with sensory disorders, and we are trying to integrate every part of personality together. So here.
Aha. Ten jau nieko nėra.
So as you saw, it was work with smell science and with smell sense. And after all, we have some classes of reflection and mindfulness, because it's a very important part of every activity about relaxation or therapy. And if we have possibility to try yourself in real conditions. It's, for example, work in summer camps or with real patients in elderly home or kindergarten or somewhere. So if students are smart enough, they can try themselves in real conditions and to get some practice. So thank you. That's all.
Dear Ugne, thank you so much. We can really see that you're really fan of your specialty.
Thank you.
We wish you a success with your further projects. And now LSMU students, Paula, Andy, and Gideus will take over. Let's listen to their discussion on the most important topics, what we want to address. Paula?
Hello. So I am Paula. I come from Spain and I am a third-year student. I'm 21 years old, if you're interested. I always knew I wanted to study abroad. I was very interested in that, and I wanted to study in English as well. First, to make my English better because the level is quite low in Spain. And second, to have more chances if I ever wanted to study abroad. You saw in the top 10 most paying countries for veterinary medicine, Spain is not there. I found LSMU online mainly, and then I did some searching on Facebook, found some other students from higher years now that were telling me their experiences, how LSMU is, how if they enjoy it or not. And the main things that I liked is that you can take your dogs to class or just pets in general, and that is the best thing that has ever happened to me. There is nothing like being very stressed for your test or just having a bad day and then having your wonderful dog or a friend's dog just coming to you asking for pets or just doing dog things. It's really fantastic. Also, the campus is just great. Every time the sun is out, all my class goes together to have a picnic on the grass, or it's just really great to be out. And the teachers on the program, all the teachers are fantastic. I love it. I just, compared to Spain, where you're just one student in between hundreds of people and nobody knows your name, you have LSMU where you're in a group of like 12 students. My group has 12 people. We all know each other. The teachers know all of us by name. If you ever have an issue because they know you, it's so much easier to have something resolved because they can know that this is like one day you need to miss class. They know that you're not a student that generally misses class, or they know that you're responsible. So they're more open to offer help on have how to say it, give you other options. Also, I don't know, to talk a little bit about my experience as a student itself. So far I'm only in third year, so I have still a lot to learn. But my favorite subjects have been anatomy and immunology so far. I really enjoy them. The teachers are just fantastic and there is a lot of practice. So for anatomy, for example, we were just sitting together in class. We were having the bones in our hands. We were doing dissections of animals that they brought to us from the clinic. So that was just great. It was in first year, you're not really so much with live animals or having too much practice, but you do have some practice. You can you have these dissections in anatomy, so you're already in contact with animals, even if they're not alive. And then you can always ask for volunteering in the clinics if you want something extra. You can do that from first year. Also, you can book a room in the simulation center to practice some skills. They allow students from first year until the end to book the simulation center. And now I am doing, I just finished my clinical rotations, but I did, third year students don't have too many. It's just enough to get in contact. And I really loved it because I was very sure that I wanted to do small animals, and already in my first experience in the clinical rotations with large animals showed me that maybe I want to do this too. So it really changed my mind to have a little bit of experience. And I'm happy to know that I like working with large animals this early in my degree and not finding out so late, because now I can plan ahead for my thesis and everything. But about clinical rotations, I think Andy might have a lot more to say because he's fourth year. Right, Andy?
Yes. You done, Paula?
Yeah.
Are you done? Okay. So hi, everyone. My name is Andy, and I'm a fourth-year student at LSMU. Yet this is my third year in Lithuania. Why is that? Is because I started my studies in Lebanon, and we all know sometimes we have plans bigger than our own countries, and I think the EU as an area like provides this wider and many opportunities. So I wanted to transfer to the EU for a bigger chance, and I came across LSMU as a veterinary school that can give you this opportunity to continue working in the EU, whether it was in Lithuania or other European countries. So first of all, about my transferring experience, it was very easy. The application process went very smooth. It was very well explained. Everything you do it online. And all the people in the international office are very helpful with visa applications, transferring your credits. So because I did some credits back in my home university, I was able to transfer those credits with me. So I didn't have to repeat all the courses from first and second year. So that was pretty cool. And transitioning here to LSMU was, I think, one of the best things I have done. Because LSMU provides you with the sufficient material to become a very good veterinarian yourself. Like in classes, even though the teachers give you the basics of what you need to know, in the LSMU library, there are plenty of books. The teachers give you plenty of extra material for your self-development if you didn't want to know just the basics. For example, if you're too much interested, for example, in dermatology, there's the books, there are extra material that you're not going to need for the test, yet you can read them for yourself and you can get your own personal knowledge. Living here in Lithuania as like a foreigner from like a non-EU student, it's actually been very smooth. The application process for the migration office is very well organized. They give you the sets of lists of papers you need to fill. It's very easy, it's not complicated. And they give you your residency card for 2 years and you can renew it each time. So you don't have to go through the process every year. So that's very cool. The best thing I would like about LSMU is the room for progress that they're doing. Like I started my studies 3 years ago, and the changes they have done for the international program is just tremendous. Like they're always taking into account the student suggestions. They're always trying to find, like they're always giving you more rotations, more practicals. Even, for example, if there was a problem with a certain teacher, they are willing to see where's the problem. They're willing to come in. They're willing to help and change and find solutions for that. So, which is really cool. And I'm in fourth year. So this year was mostly about internal diseases. And this is basically my favorite part so far. I love internal medicine. And even though this year, because of COVID and everything that's happening, we were able to get a hybrid mode education. So all the labs, we go to school, we do them, we see, we practice with our hands, and everything that's lectures and can be given online is just recorded and you can watch it whenever you want. So that's very, and it's always accessible. And I now go to the LSMU clinic, small animal clinic, every 3 days for volunteer program. And first, of course, once you go there, you're not going to start doing everything on your own. But once you get to know the teachers and you gain their trust and confidence, they let you do things on your own. So for sometimes now I take blood, I put in catheters, I do some ultrasound imaging. So it's always nice, and the teacher, they're always helpful. They're always there to explain what's happening. They like, even though like the discussion with the owners happened in Lithuanian, but afterwards they always sit down with you and then they explain. So I think before coming to like, all you need to have when you're coming to LSMU is know that you have the passion for veterinary medicine, and I think everything will work out perfectly for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. And now I see that we still have Egidius online. Egidius, I would like to ask you how your life looks like after you graduate from LSMU. What are you doing right now?
Yes, right now I am working, and let's start from the beginning maybe. At the end of my study in the 4th year, we have a mandatory practice, so I went for searching where I could do it, and I took to make my practice in the Lithuanian Zoological Garden. And during my practice work, like after 1 month, they saw that I'm working really good or something, and they offered me a job to work there. So I started to work there, and until now, I'm still working. So first I was as a keeper, just cleaning animals, feeding them, taking care of them, like the main health issues and etc. And after I finished university and I got my diploma, I got raised, and right now I'm working as an educator. So I'm giving educational programs, I'm giving tours in the zoo for people. So basically I am teaching people about animals, about the importance of it, how to treat with them, and I'm teaching people about exotic animals that you cannot see somewhere in Lithuania forest, let's say, and why it's important and why the zoo is important for all of us. So this is what I'm doing right now.
Thank you, Egidius. Also, I would like to ask our students how the studies are arranged during this pandemic. Do you have some issues related to the COVID? Any, I don't know, difficulties you may face? Paula and Andy, could you please reply?
Yeah, of course. I think we can both share our experience. When the pandemic first started, of course, it was new for everyone. So sadly, when it became too bad, we were all moved into virtual mode. But they really did a big effort to get ready. Like first, they just gave us 2 weeks holidays when the pandemic first started, so that they could make everything ready. They could prepare the professors and explain how they decide how everything's gonna work online. And then we had to finish our semester, which about maybe 2 months left that we had by then, fully online. But they arranged any missed practice from all higher years. I think they arranged in person later on. Then this year, again, I'm 3rd year, so now I had much more practicals and it was more important. So they started with something that I love. It's lectures, and all the theoretical material is done virtually, but when there is a need for practicals, which we have a lot of in LSMU, because like for every theoretical topic, you have about 2 classes that are just practical. So that was done in university in reduced groups and with all the necessary measures, of course. Clinical rotations were done also in person so that all students don't miss anything. Even I am a mentor this year, so I know many students from 1st year, and even students from 1st year had a lot of practice in the university. They were not at all just online. And you, Andy, how was your year online?
I think, as Paula said, LSMU has done a great job accommodating with the whole pandemic situation. And I think now at this point, Lithuania has almost 25% of the population vaccinated, and they're starting mass vaccination at the end of this month. So I think for all next students, you will not have any trouble accommodating. So I think you guys got the best time to go back to start your university careers. So I think you won't find any trouble or any problems with that.
Yeah, that's true about vaccination. In Spain, for example, it's going very slow, but Lithuania started from the 1st of June this year. They're going to start mass vaccinating the whole population. So next year when you come, if you're not yet vaccinated in your home countries, you can get your TRP or your TRC and register for your vaccination here. So it's amazing.
Yeah, she's right. You can get the chance to get vaccinated here in Lithuania.
Also, we have more questions from our participants and students. Our future students, we ask you how to be ready for your new academic year and new adventures in Lithuania. What kind of things they supposed to done before coming to Lithuania in order to start their studies properly?
I would say for non-EU students, just get a visa, a thick jacket, and come. Everything will be, you will figure out everything on your way here. Like it's not like you're going somewhere like at the end of the world. It's just a little bit cold in winter, yes, but other than that, you don't have to do anything. Just you get everything here. You get all the directions, all the directives, so you don't really have to do anything. Just pack your bag and you're more than welcome in Lithuania.
Yeah, also because students come here from many different countries and different high schools, like, you know, every high school has a different level, every country teaches something different. So when you start with subjects like genetics or chemistry, they tend to start from the basics. So you don't have to be crazy about studying this summer to come to LSMU, because likely you will know what's going on the first when you first start a subject, because they start from they want first to level all the level from all the students and then start anew. I also, like Andy said, just get a cold. Don't panic about the cold either, because I'm from Spain. I thought I would die in Lithuania because I went reading online like, oh my God, minus 20 degrees in winter. No, that's just for like a week in winter, and it's not everyday life. There is sun here. I only brought winter clothes because my mom thought I would freeze. And then I was really hot in September when I first arrived. I had no summer clothes. Don't make that mistake.
Thank you, Paula, for your and Andy for your useful tips. And Egidius, would you give us some advice how to be ready for the program of animal sciences? What do you need to study at school, or what kind of interest is you supposed to have in order to choose this program?
As my colleague said, I don't think that you need like something special to be ready from the school or something, because mainly you get everything from the basics as you start to study here in Lithuania. So my main advice would be you should be ready just to like what you will do. Like if you choose the study program, be ready, and I think everything will be great. And about clothing, I can add that if you are from North, because I met some guys from North, like Sweden and Norway, and when they went to Lithuania in winter, they said it's really warm for us. So if you are from North and coming to Lithuania to study, just take a t-shirt and shorts, and that will be enough.
Thank you. Thank you, students, for your really nice tips and all the discussions you have done here. And maybe it's time to get involved our participants who are watching us today, and maybe they have some questions. So I would kindly invite you to open your microphone and ask your questions right now. Do we have some questions from our audience? Our students are ready to answer all your concerns.
I saw one question was written before while we were talking.
Okay.
So someone asked, can you take a pet in your dormitory? So I live in dormitory and I can answer this question. Officially, you cannot do that, but unofficially, in my dormitory, I know at least like 5 people that has animals like cats or small dogs. So please be quiet about that. Don't say to anyone, because they will kick someone out. But basically, if you're a really nice person and your pet is clean, like it doesn't make a mess in the room, you can take your animal, and it will be like silent contract with the administrator, and you can keep the animal with you.
So please pay attention and sign the silent contract with the dormitory administrator. Egidius, you said that you had possibility to live in the dormitory of LSMU. Could you please share your experience, how facilities looks like? in the dormitory?
Yes, so I live in let's say one of the worst conditions right now, dormitory, which for me it's not very worse. It's really good, and there is plans like in next year, I think, to renovate it, so it will be one of the best ones. And talking about the living condition and prices, I personally pay 50 euros per month, all bills included. I live in a room with 2 other guys. We are roommates for 3 years right now. We are really nice friends. And I really like to live here. And it's really sad because like in 2-3 months, I have to move out because I finished my studies. But all the stuff like kitchen, bathrooms and everything are used for everyone in the floor. And it's enough. Like we have four kitchens in the floor, so it's enough for everyone to use. Like you don't have to wait in line. Speaking about showers, I don't know how about girls' showers, because girls take like half an hour to take a shower, but for guys we don't have any problems. Anytime we just go to the shower, there is a lot of free space. You can take shower, go out, and you can just stand in the shower for a whole day and no one will come and say like go out. So I think the conditions in dormitory are really, really good, and good enough for me to live, at least.
And if I may add, because the international dormitory is different from the Lithuanian dormitory, I lived in my first year in the dormitory. We had the newly renovated rooms. So in each room, there were 2 beds. You could either book one bed, like you can either book the whole room or just one bed. And it's around 80 euros for international students. And every 4 people get their own private shower. So there isn't that many, like it's not for the whole floor. And you get one huge kitchen for everybody. So, and usually everyone's respectful and no one messes with your stuff. So it was a fun experience to live in the dormitories, of course.
Thank you, Andy. I see that we have a question. Do you remember the time when you have to apply for university? What kind of conditions you may do in order, what kind of documents do you need to provide for the university to get enrolled? Do you remember those conditions? Who can answer? Paula?
Well, I remember I had to get a record of my high school because just to show us proof that I finished high school and I am ready to start university level studies. And then, of course, the entrance exam, which was okay, and a little interview. Was nothing scary, really. It sounds scary, but it was very fine.
How was your entrance exam? It was difficult or not really for you?
For me, coming from, because I already knew all the material because I had to study for also entrance exams in Spain. So it was fine. It was not too hard. It was just high school level. It was okay.
Okay, I hope, Jessica, we answer your question from the chat box. Egidius, would you like to add something?
I don't think that my answer would be proper because I got a different type of application because I was entering in the Lithuanian system. So I had to give my my graduate papers from the school, and basically that's it. They counted my grades and everything, and basically based on that, they said, can I come or I can't. So.
Egidius, I would like to ask you another question. How is the balance between school and daily lifestyle looks like at LSMU?
Well,
how to find a proper balance, actually?
Oh, well, it depends what kind of student you are, because in my opinion, there is 2 types of students, that the ones that are studying and the ones that are partying. So I think you have to find the balance, as you said, and do both stuff to enjoy it the most. So in my experience, I was both of the type student during my study years, because at the first years I just after finishing school, I was like, university is the place where I had to study a lot. So I was studying 5-6 hours every day. And after that, I went to Erasmus, and I came back, and I find a system which helped me to learn faster. Like I knew the main things that I have to study. I didn't study too much. Like I didn't repeat like for 10 or 20 times, because I started to get the information easier in my mind. So during my second year, I was studying like 2 hours a day, and I had a free time. And during free time, you can go to a lot of associations out of the university or in university, like LIFSA, which is basically the student association of foreigners. There are a lot of other associations, the Lithuanian ones, but they accept everyone really, really friendly, and they help people to join. There are sports clubs, dance clubs, singing clubs, and etc. A lot of stuff that you can do.
Okay, we have one more question in the chat box. What is the approximate cost of living monthly? How much savings do you need to have to live comfortably in Kaunas?
I would say, if, for example, if you're living in the dormitories, depends on how much you spend and how much you want to save. But I think around 300 and 500 euros, you can easily do that. 300, yes, it would be like extra savings, but 400, I think it would be just perfect, with including the renting and everything.
Okay, one more questions. Here we go. What kind of hands-on experience do you have? Oh, sorry. I lost the question. What kind of hands-on experience do you get during your first year of veterinary studies? Andy, do you remember your first year?
Because I was a transfer student, my first year wasn't that typical. So maybe Paula would be better at answering this question.
Paula, sorry, Andy, I forgot that you transfer your studies. Paula?
Yes, so in first year, like I said, you have practice in labs with the cadavers, doing dissections. You can also volunteer in the clinics if you want some practice, like to see how other vets work. Even you can also pick up a contract at the main building, and in your free time, like in your vacation, if you come back to your own country, or if you find a clinic in Lithuania, you can even do your practice there if you want during summer. I did that in my first year as well. And those hours count up to your practice hours for your degree. So that's amazing. So you can do that. Really, you can do as much practice as you can and then want.
Thank you, Paula. And we have a serious questions right now. How long did it take for you to feel happy or settle while studying in a foreign country? How was the adaptation process?
So once you start studying at LSMU, there's this introductory course where we have also a lecture with the university psychologist. So he explains when you come to a different country, first you have this euphoria kind of feeling that you're living abroad. It's like you're a tourist. And then you go through this down phase that you realize, oh, I'm away from home. But then you start adapting to living abroad, being on your own, away from your family and everything. It really much depends on every person. But the surroundings of like the other international students, you find your own community. So I don't think it's that hard. Like it really depends on you and how you feel about living away from home.
Sure, Andy, sure. Paula?
Super easy to make friends and socialize because everyone comes here with the same mindset. It's like everyone is excited. They want to make the most of it. They want to make friends. They want to have a good experience and a good relationship with all their classmates, because you're gonna be with these classmates for about 6 years. So everyone has a very good starting attitude, and it's really easy to make friends in that environment.
Thank you. Egidio, I want to dedicate one more question. We have Oksana who asked, how was your Erasmus experience? I know that you went on exchange even twice, as I remember.
Yes, you're right. I went to Erasmus 2 times in my second and third year. The first one was in Greece, Athens, and I really enjoyed it. I went in autumn semester, so I had a really great time. It was warm, that's why I chose it, because in Lithuania it was a little bit cold for me. So I went there to study and to take some vacations, let's say. But I really enjoyed it. I really liked it because professors were really nice to us. We were like 7 or 8 students during classes. All the professors were teaching us in their rooms or somewhere in small buildings, so we could interact to each other really closely. I had the chance to take a practice during my first Erasmus in farm, which was really nice and really big. They had like animals like cows, goats, sheep, ducks, goose, and all kind of that animals. I was working with the machinery in that farm. I learned a lot of stuff that I never knew how to use it. And the second one, Erasmus, was in Turkey in Ege University. It was almost the same, let's say, but the culture stuff was different. But basically, both of the Erasmus was really great. I liked it, and if I had a chance, I would go there again and again.
Thank you, Egidius. We have one more question. How are the language classes? This question will be dedicated to our foreign students. Do you feel sufficient when communicating with Lithuanians? It's really good question. I know I hear some nice stories from our students. Could you please comment, guys?
So I would say they're really good. Maybe not enough for having a real life conversation for a long time with a native Lithuanian speaker, but definitely enough for surviving, for knowing what you're actually buying in the supermarket, because that was like my top 1 priorities. What am I buying? What is this? And also for emergencies, sometimes I have to call to the hospital and I find one person that doesn't speak English, and if I need to get that done now and I don't want to wait to call later, I am able to speak and to have like, please change my appointment to this time, or I need to know when I have my appointment with my doctor. So that is good. It's really enough for surviving. You can know how to rent an apartment and all those priority things.
So could you please tell me what were the first words you learned in Lithuanian language?
The first one was atsiprašau, which means excuse me, because I was convinced that I would bump into someone. I'm very dumb sometimes. So I thought I need to learn how to say sorry. So that was my first word.
Andy, do you remember your first words in Lithuanian?
I had bad influence learning my first words in Lithuanian, so but labas is also one of them, which means hello.
So we can learn at least labas for today, which means hi in Lithuanian. Okay, thank you so much. So Daesha was asking, due to COVID, what should I expect as a first-year student within the first week of the classes? And when is the right time to arrive to your studies? When do you remember when you had to have your classes in September? When did you arrive in Lithuania? We recommend to come at least 2 weeks in advance in order to get ready to sign and prove all the documents you have. Yes?
Yes, I like between 1 week and 2 weeks would be enough.
Also, we have introduction week before the studies, when students, we guide them how to open the bank accounts, where to find their own accommodation if they are needed, and some other tips how to arrange your studies properly. Yes? Do we have more questions? do we have brave people in order to speak loudly with us? I see that we have active people in the chat box. Maybe you want to open the microphone and say something. Turn on. Not really. Okay, it means we will go into conclusion of our live session, and I would like to ask to say to finalize our discussions. Students, what else would you like to add for our conclusion of today?
For the new students coming in, I say go ahead. If you really want to study veterinary medicine, if you have the passion, go for it. If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to contact the university. You can contact us, me or Paula. We're always happy to help.
Thank you, Andy, that you found time to be today with us. Paula?
You can find our emails on LSMU, on the LSMU page, and they're ambassadors. So if you have any questions to anybody, even there are more ambassadors that might represent your country, and maybe you have questions about them, about the cultural aspects, so you can also ask them. And just like Andy said, go ahead. I almost didn't come because I was too scared. And it really is the best thing I ever did in my life. So come.
Thank you, Paula. Egidio, what would be your final words of today?
I just can agree with Paula and Andy and say that don't be afraid of new country, new people. If you're willing to study animal science or veterinary medicine, just come here, see everything by yourself, and you will understand that it's a really great place and a really great country to study.
Thank you to all our participants, our staff members. I hope you really enjoyed this live session, and regarding your feedback, we will continue both live sessions later on. So please stay tuned and look for the best opportunity and where to study. We kindly invite you to come to LSMU and really feel the rhythm and atmosphere of studies and Kaunas here. Okay, so thank you all, and we would like to say goodbye. Bye bye.